I got to tell you, it's a landmark. It's a broken spoke, and there's a lot of history with this building right here. We're going to find out, so I want you to join me right now. Like it says, through this door pass the best country music dancers in the world. You ready to two-step? Come on. We are here. This is Mr. James White of the Broken Spoke. We're getting ready to run it through the museum, what's the name of the museum?
I call it the tourist trap.
I call it a treasure. That's what I call it.
Even though nothing's for sale in there, but it's kind of a tourist trap because we get people from all over the world and they come here to see something that's real, the real deal Texas. And when they come in that front door, they know darn good well they're not at Carnegie Hall. They're at the best honky tonk in Texas.
And there's no admission. So, okay, I just want to look some of these pictures right here. Okay, wait, who's this?
I was in a movie with Dolly Parton here back in 1991, I think it was. And I had got to say a few words. I was a star for the afternoon, had my own dressing room. This is me, I'm singing with Willie and Chris Christopherson.
On the Spoke.
When you own your own dance hall, you can get up there and sing with whoever you want to.
Now, here's something. Here's not a country music star, but look at this. Clint Eastwood. Right there, and look at the up above that, 1969, Willie Nelson and Mr. White right there.
Over 50 years ago.
Okay, now let's talk about these pictures
and
right here.
Robert Duvall, he came out here.
Mr. Duvall.
And he did the tango at the Broken Spoke. He loves the Broken Spoke.
He's supposed to be quite a good dancer too, isn't he?
Oh, he is quite a good dancer.
Okay, so Garth has been here. Garth has performed here.
Well, that was like two south by southwest ago, what I call it, 2 springs ago. And he came out, he wanted it to be a secret, he wanted it to be a surprise, and so he had a dance out here, and they let the word slip out, and we had about 600 people that night, so it was really good. He was very nice to me, very nice to everyone. He got up there, we had it timed where Billy Mata was opening up that night, and as it is, Garth Brooks kind of opened up for Billy Mata, you know, but it was very good. Billy Mata took a break, and then I got up there and announced who we had coming up. I just said a young man from Oklahoma, you know, and then Garth Brooks came out, and it was quite a night.
I was there, it was quite a night. In fact, Garth gave you the guitar, which, can we just right above here? Let's see if we can.
Have we got the light on?
Yeah, we got the light on.
Get the light on? Good.
But that's the guitar right there that Garth played. I don't know how many people have tried to open it up just to get that guitar, just so they could touch those strings. Look at that.
And this here is, at the end of the night, he handed me that guitar on stage because I couldn't get off the stage.
Right.
It was too crowded. He said, "This is for you." And then he turned around and then he was gone.
Okay.
But we talked about 20 or 30 minutes outside before he performed.
Yeah. And
then they sent me that picture back, the autographed picture of Garth.
Real nice. Now, let's talk about another superstar right here. This is a very young George Strait. And who's that guy?
That's Alvin Crowe.
That's what I thought. Look at that, Mr. Alvin Crowe, and very young George Strait.
A true story, the Broken Spoke back in 1975. Alvin Crowe called me up and he said, you know, I'm going to be late. I've got a wedding tonight, but I got a good little band from San Marcos going to open up for me. And the name of the band is Ace in the Hole. Come to find out, the lead singer was George Strait. So that's the first time I got George Strait, and I liked him. He sang great, and I thought, well, you know, I need to get him back. So I got him back about once a month for about 7 years.
Can I ask you how much you paid George Strait back then? What was the going rate back then?
He would probably he was getting about $400 a night usually. And then when he came out with Unwound, Tom Foote, his drummer, came up and said, well, George ain't gonna be here tonight because he's up in Nashville recording. And so I thought, well, you know, I've heard that a lot, you know. But I didn't pay much attention to it, but then come to find out he did do a recording, and he did Skyrocket Straight Up, and with a song called Unwound.
The price went up too, I'm sure.
And the price went up to $3,500. So I got him a couple more times at $3,500 guaranteed. And then they told me, said, well, another song came up. They said, well, it's $20,000. So I thought, well, how am I going to make $20,000 on the door back in them days? And back in 1982, and so I thought about it for a long time, and then all of a sudden, I went back on the phone with them, and they said, well, it's $100,000 now. So therefore, I didn't have to think any more about it.
You had
but
decision,
I mean, I can always say we had George Strait on this Broken Spoke stage.
Yeah, you're still real close to George. We're going to talk about this in another interview. But this is the latest picture. George is right here now. What about the new George Strait album coming out at the end of March? What building, what landmark is on the cover of that album?
Well, on the cover of George Strait's new album, Honky Tonk Time Machine, is a picture of the best honky tonk in Texas, and I would think the best honky tonk that ever was in the world, whatever you want to call it, because we've been here longer than any other honky tonk. Nobody can ever say that they built it, own it, and run it. You know, well, this year we're going into our 55th year.
Wow.
And George Strait remembers all that, and he knows what a good honky tonk is, and he knows what it's supposed to look like. So that was his choice to use the Broken Spoke on the cover, the front cover of his album.
Now,
we're tickled to death about it. I'm excited about it. We hit a home run on that, and thanks to George Strait, it was his idea doing it.
Well, any contract negotiations with that? Did you say, no, wait a minute, George, or anything like that? Or you said, yes, sir, right away, didn't you? I would.
No, I wouldn't. I'd never give it a second thought. I just said, well, we want to be on it, and whatever it takes to do it, we'll do it.
That is so cool.
And so it was very cool that he named it that. And then they sent me a picture of what it's going to look like. Because I had a lot of pictures of the Broken Spoke. But they picked one that was in the Library of Congress. And so, therefore, we're the Library of Congress.
I was going to ask you, how did
we're in the Smithsonian. We're in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And so I'm real proud of all those honors.
Wow, I didn't realize you guys were in the Smithsonian or the...
Yeah, we're over in the dinosaur department.
Not a dinosaur, but okay. We're going to walk through.
And this year is the last time Willie was here. This one here.
When was that?
That was about 2 years ago.
Man, this is where the stars definitely come, for sure.
And this is Willie holding my daughter Jenny, and then this is Willie holding my grandson James Lamar, which is her son.
Generations, that's cool.
And these are all my daughter Terry's pictures, because she does the dance lessons out here. And she's been here all her life, and she learned how to dance right here at the Broken Spoke.
A lot of people,
day one.
A lot of people, before we go in there, we're going to do a shot right here. This is what the dance hall looks like. Dance floor, look at this. Now, you're probably noticing the low ceiling. How, when Ray Benson is asleep at the wheel, when they play out here, how in the world can Ray fit on that stage?
Well, he gets on that first little level.
Yeah.
But when he's on that first level, all he's got to do is go like this, and he's on the ceiling. It just kind of stretch, you know. But he's used to it. He's been on that stage since 1973. And that's a lot of years. That's the same year I first booked Alvin Crow. The same year I booked a lady by the name of Frida and the Fire Dogs, who is now called Marcia Ball.
Marcia Ball, that's right.
But at first it was Frida and the Fire Dogs. And that was a big deal. We had a fundraiser for Lloyd Doggett out here. And I had 500 hippies out here. And back in them days, we was more of a redneck type bar, you know. But, you know, it's just, I always kind of got along with everybody, but we got a kick out of the way they would come in, the way the hippies were dressed. And they didn't know how to do a country dance either. I mean, I call it the hippie hop. When they played a fast country number, they just went around like a bunch of hillbillies, you know, and that's about the way they danced at first. But later on, you know, they stayed in Austin, a lot of them, and they became city leaders in Austin, and they still come to the Broken Spoke today.
And we're talking about the early 70s for this, right?
Yes, exactly.
Wow. Now, we're going to step inside the tourist trap, and I want you to show me the...
But anyway, this is where I stand every night. I'm kind of leaning.
Greeter, like
I'm kind of leaning. Yeah, I got a tough job. I'm just leaning on this old cash register here. And then if I'm not here, this is me again. I'm always watching the money.
Can't blame you for that. What is the? Let's step inside the tourist trap, and I want you to tell me what is it you're most proud of inside this trap?
Okay.
And watch your step there, Rachel, if you don't mind.
Well, you know, all these pictures of all different people that have been here, and you know, it's just. Let me turn this. Maybe I'll get some more lighting in here. Maybe. But it's just all these collectibles. A lot of this stuff, it needs cleaning up. And I mean, you know, I look over and I see Willie Nelson's gold record. That was when he had Whiskey River. That's here. This is when the Texas Playboys, they played for the last time. I'm sorry, it wasn't the last time. It was the first time they played anywhere in public for a dance after Bob Wills passed away in 1975.
Man. Wow.
And then this is all the different ones, you know. There's Ray Benson there, and my daughter, me and my daughter, and Ernest Tubb and Willie, and all my good memorabilia. There's Vince Vaughn, the movie star.
There's my good friend.
Harry Connick Jr. and
I miss this man, Sammy Allred.
Sammy Allred, the world famous Giesenthal brothers. That was a good thing. It was a good night. And this was for a TV thing. And you got Junior Brown, and you got Jerry Jeff.
Leroy Parnell. There's Alvin.
Myself, Alvin Crow, and the world famous Giesenthal brothers.
Man.
This is Ann Richards. She was
Governor Richards.
Yep, and she was also the county commissioner of our precinct before she became governor.
Was she out here a lot dancing?
She would come out, and a lot of times she'd come out on that legislature night that we had every Tuesday when the session, the Capitol was in session. Mm-hmm. And she would come out, they'd call it Speaker's Night. I think they passed more bills out here than they did. Yeah. This here is another thing I'm really proud of. This is where we made the back cover of Texas Highway Magazine way back in 1990, and they voted us the best honky-tonk in Texas. And that's probably when I first started giving a lot of autographs, because they would frame this picture here.
They recognized you.
And now, this is on every rest stop in Texas, this picture, right along with the Capitol.
It's cool.
Very cool. And this, I'm proud of this one. First song I ever wrote, The Broken Spoke Legend. It's a waltz tune. And this is my Cadillac, and that's Alvin Crow, one of my horses. And he recorded it, and I sang the last part with him on that song. And after that, then I seemed like I started singing with all the bands, so it made it more fun for me.
Now, we're going in another room right here. You got quite a hat collection right here from all the stars that have graced the stage, and looks like some set list also. But this really is a cool place.
And that's George Strait's hat right there.
Which one?
This one right here.
Does he know you have it?
The one that's all faded. I showed it to him
okay.
the other day.
Didn't try to take it back or anything, did he?
No, I was hinting to get me a new one.
And, George, if you're watching.
And then the one on the bottom, the vacant spot, I lent the Country Music Hall of Fame Willie's hat for 3 years. And they've got it on display up there.
Well, if you need somebody to
along with my first sign, the Broken Spoke, and one of my wagon wheels, and some other old pictures and things, and a shirt similar to this one, and one of my hats is up there.
So that's in the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville?
Yeah, it's called Outlaws and Armadillos.
Oh, that big exhibit.
And it's very nice, and they're very nice people, and they treat us real good up there.
Well, if you need somebody, to go up to Nashville, bring it back to you. I'm just volunteering right now.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy for you. You know that, Mr.
Well, this is George Strait again. You remember Townsend Miller, the writer?
Yes, yeah.
I just got that picture the other night.
A very young George Strait.
Yeah, this is me. I'm cleaning up beer bottles after a Jerry Jeff Walker concert. This one here.
Oh, that one? Wow.
Jerry Jeff fans drink a lot of beer.
That's not just from Jerry Jeff. That's the fans. We want to point that out, by the way, legally. But Troy Aikman, Ray Price, Marty Stewart, and Travis Tritt.
Here's Dan Rather back behind this other picture.
My goodness.
And then I've got local boy makes good, Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah, filmmaker.
This is New Year's Eve. They came out, and they just fit right in with the rest of the crowd for New Year's Eve. This is a shirt. I'm not sure. This is a plate.
Randy Travis signed that plate. Look at that. I've been bragging about the chicken fried steak here.
He was eating a chicken fried steak, and they kept rushing him. Come on, the limo's waiting. And my wife said, just take it with you, and we'll... And so he did, but then he sent it back from Nashville.
That's nice.
And then that was his idea, and then
there's a picture of
then he autographed this one because we was at a premiere movie, Frank and Jesse. I think he played Cole Younger. And Sleep the Wheel, he was here yesterday. Ray Benson, he gave me that hat. This was the Travel Channel. We taught her how to dance out here.
She's easy to teach to dance.
And this gal, she was my wheel roller that night, and also
I recognize her.
Yeah,
Desperate Housewife.
Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher.
And I call her Superman's girlfriend.
Yeah, I remember that show. My goodness, but man, this is.
Terry taught her how to dance.
Did she?
Yep, and she didn't know. And then I'm the only man in the world that's got a half-smoked. See this one right here?
Yeah.
That's a half-smoked Bob Wills cigar. His daughter gave it to me, and her grandmother saved it because she knew he was famous after he left. And so it was wrapped up in his little old dolly. And that's Bob Wills' his hat there.
Look at this poster right here. Look at this. In person on stage, George Strait. And suddenly, this is when it just wasn't the Ace in the Hole band, it was George. And look, he autographed that right there for you. That's got to be back in the early 80s.
But look at this one. That's the first one.
Yeah,
That's
featuring George Strait. So George went from feature to top billing right there. Well, you know, this needs to be in a vault someplace. Just not
I
on the
know
wall.
it. I should have framed that thing properly, but I need to do that.
Yeah.
And this is on a kind of a scavenger treasure hunt.
Everybody has kissed that, looks like.
Because they'll say on the scavenger treasure hunt, they'll say, go where there's an autograph, where there's a picture of George Strait with lipstick all over it, kisses, and then they'll come out looking for it.
My goodness. Well, you know you got it made when you have your own stand-up too, Mr. White.
Yeah, that's good. I'm coming up.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They did that when we had our book out. We got a book called The Broken Spoke, and we also have a movie called Honky Tonk Heaven.
Right.
And I'm hiding this from my wife, all these pretty movie stars.
My goodness.
That's a tough job I got.
I need to hang out here more often, I can tell you that.
Tough job I got here. And this is, I'm singing at the state capitol of Oklahoma in the House of Representatives. Here.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, we went up there and for Bob Wills' birthday.
Okay.
And then this one, you can barely see this. This is me and George Strait here.
You got a lot of photos of George Strait in here. Well, thank you for the little improv tour.
And then this is our menu that we used to have that I'd spent all my money, I didn't have enough money to be able to make a menu or have an outside sign. And so Coca-Cola, they made the wheels out of this here, the round, see on our sign.
Oh, I see right there, yeah.
And then they painted over it. And later on, we added the neon to it.
That's cool.
That's me and Jerry Jeff. 3 in the morning, we call that, when I took him home, we call that Jerry duty.
Jerry.
Jerry duty.
Is this before or after you got all the beer bottles off the floor?
That's Jerry duty.
Yeah.
He wanted to spend the night here, and I thought, man, ain't no way I can leave him here. He'd be drinking up all my beer.
You've got to come out here. You've got to visit the Broken Spoke. Have a chicken fried steak. Just don't sign the plate like Randy Travis, but you've got to say hi to this treasure. Not just a Texas treasure, but a national treasure. Mr. James White. Thanks for allowing us to come out here and visit with you.
My pleasure, man.
Yeah,
I'll see you out here doing the Texas two-step.
I need to get back. I got my boots on. I ain't starting
Yeah,
two-stepping
we
again.
like you Sweetwater fellers.
You remember.